So here's the thing. Hustle doesn't feel dangerous at first. It feels responsible. It feels grown. It feels like momentum. It feels like, see, I'm doing something. I'm not failing. I'm not lazy. I'm safe. And then there's the part that nobody tells you. You didn't start hustling because you wanted more, babe. You started hustling because your nervous system learned that stillness wasn't safe. So, welcome back to the Spiritually Kinky podcast. I'm Dustin, and around here we talk about the things that people pretend are mindset problems, but are actually body memories. So, this isn't another work harder conversation, and it's definitely not a just surrender more one either. So, this is about the hidden identity underneath hustle, the part of you that learned how to survive beautifully and now is quietly exhausted from carrying the whole damn world around. And for context, I'm not speaking about this from theory. I'm speaking as someone who lived inside hustle disguised as purpose, someone who mastered productivity, discipline, and pressure. And guess what? Called it power. And now I teach women how to unhook their power from exhaustion. I teach women how to stop trying to dominate themselves into success so that they can start creating from a body that actually trusts life. Because, babe, hustle doesn't make you powerful, it just makes you tolerant of pain. And here's the thing that most teachings never say out loud: hustle isn't ambition, it's hypervigilance with a planner. It's your nervous system gripping the wheel and saying, if I don't keep this moving, something bad is going to happen. Hustle says, don't rest, you'll fall behind. Don't feel, you'll lose momentum. Don't pause, you'll see how tired you really are. So you keep stacking goals like sandbags against a flood. Busy becomes your barricade, productivity becomes your protection. For me, hustle didn't look chaotic. It looked impressive. I was doing the work, learning the tools, showing up, producing, helping others shift. And from the outside, it looked like success. But inside, my body was braced like a clenched fist. Every aligned action still had teeth in it. Every goal carried urgency. And every pause felt like failure breathing down my neck. I didn't trust flow because flow requires being held. And my system only trusted effort. So when I use the term edge holder, I'm talking about something I teach called a shadow kink. And a shadow kink isn't something wrong with you. It's a brilliant survival adaptation that once kept you safe and now quietly runs the show from the background. The edge holder shadow kink sounds like this. If I slow down, I'll lose my edge. If I soften, I'll fall behind. If I stop pushing, everything I've built will disappear. And this isn't about ambition. It's about a nervous system that learned pressure equals protection. The edge holder learned to stay sharp, alert, and ready, to live just a breath away from burnout. Because being relaxed once meant being vulnerable, and that vulnerability was unsafe. So the kink inside the hustle is holding yourself at the edge of capacity and calling it power. I lived there for a very long time. Now, here's the image that finally broke this open for me. Hustle is like keeping your foot pressed down on the gas while your nervous system is trying to slam on the brakes. The edge holder part of you says, don't slow down, don't soften, don't let up. Because somewhere along the way you learned slowing down means losing your edge, and losing your edge meant losing your value. So you live your life like a blade that's constantly against a whetstone, always sharpening, always grinding, always one breath away from breaking. And here's the thing that no one tells you: a blade that never rests eventually shatters. Not because it's weak, but because it was never meant to live under consistent pressure. So here's where it gets a little uncomfortable: is a lot of the teachings don't free you from the hustle. They just spiritualize it. They tell you just visualize harder, Raise your vibration, take more action, be disciplined, stay motivated, stay consistent no matter what. So you push in prettier language. You override your body in the name of alignment. You gaslight your exhaustion and call it resistance. And babe, when you turn out, you assume you didn't believe enough. And that's not awakening, babe. That's the same survival loop with better branding. And this is especially true for the edge holder. The woman who prides herself on endurance, grit, pushing through, being the one who can handle more. And most teachings accidentally feed her survival pattern. They praise consistency over capacity, discipline over discernment, and output over embodiment. So the edge holder hears, good, keep going. See, you're strong. Don't stop now. Meanwhile, her body is whispering, I'm tired of being impressive. I want to be alive. And instead of listening, she doubles down. Oh, babe, this is not empowerment. This is self-abandonment wearing a crown. And here's the part that hustle culture never warns you about. Survival energy, babe, is borrowed energy. It works until your body sends the bill. Burnout, brain fog, loss of desire, resentment towards the very things you once loved, a quiet numbness that you just can't quite explain. And the scariest part, you don't even miss hustle when it breaks you. You miss yourself. And flow isn't something that you earn, babe. Flow is a response. It's like trying to coax a wild animal closer. The more you chase it, the further it retreats. Flow comes when the nervous system stops scanning for danger and starts trusting that it's safe to receive. You cannot force flow, babe, any more than you can force sleep by yelling at your body. You don't hunt flow. You become safe enough for it to land. And here's the reframe that changes everything. You don't stop hustling by forcing rest. You stop hustling when your body learns it's safe to receive without proving. When your system realizes you don't need pressure to move. You don't need exhaustion to be worthy. And you don't need urgency to be alive. For the edge holder, burnout isn't collapse. It's a refusal to keep proving strength through suffering, a refusal to let survival be the price of success, a refusal to keep sharpening the blade when what you actually crave is being held. Burnout, babe, isn't failure. It's your system saying, I don't want to survive anymore. I want to live. And here's the thing, babe, you don't need to hustle your way into wholeness. You don't need to earn rest. You don't need to prove worth. And you don't need to suffer for flow. You were never meant to white knuckle creation. You are meant to let it move through you. And if you're listening to this thinking, I don't want to dominate my power anymore. If you're ready to stop forcing, pushing, overriding, and start creating with your body instead of against it, I want to invite you to join my spiritually kinky community for creators on School. Because this is for women who are ready to stop trying to dominate their power into submission and learn how to start creating with it. And this is a space where we don't hustle harder, we create truer. And you'll find the link in the show notes, babe. But before we close, remember this. You are not broken. You are the creative force within, and you get to choose what you'd love to create. And whether you're here to be a little bit spiritual, or you're here to be a little bit kinky, or you're here like me to be a whole lot of both, lead with love, my friends. And in case nobody told you today, I see you, I feel you, and I love you. And you are not alone. Mm.